Yeah, it's the 7 Hermetic Principles of Self-Mastery.
So we're going to go into it. We're going to go and have a look.
I'm going to go on mute for each one. I'll come
okay, yeah. Maybe we should turn our volumes down or put ourselves on mute. And you can do that by clicking it on your screen, guys. Dolly, there's a microphone on your screen as well that in a minute, if you click it when we're playing it, we won't get any feedback. So yeah, the 7 Hermetic Principles for Self-Mastery, the teaching of the Hermes-Thoth. The first one is the Principle of Mentalism. I love your reaction there, babe. That's what I want.
I just got to get something.
Love it.
I want to big up this guy, Gary Light, as well. We should put a link to his.
Yes, definitely will. And I've subscribed to his channel as well, so I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I subscribed to his channel today. So.
I might be off track, but it's all right. It's all right. I just picked something up today, and I'm thinking nearly the same name.
Good. Right. So yeah, when I press play, everyone pop their mics on mute, and we're good to go.
Hermes Trismegistus may be associated with the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. Consequently, the two gods were worshipped as one, and what had once been the Temple of Thoth.
Can I just ask if you can give me a thumbs up that you can hear it? Good.
Hermes, the Greek god, was combined with Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, to become the patron of astrology and alchemy. In addition, both gods were guiding souls to the afterlife. The Hermetic teachings are found in all lands and all religions. Their appeal is universal. In early days, there was a compilation of certain basic Hermetic maxims, axioms, and precepts, which were passed down from teacher to student, which is called the Kybalion. The Hermetic literature among the Egyptians was the oldest Hellenistic writings on Greco-Babylonian astrology and also the developed practice of alchemy. In tradition, Hermetic philosophy rationalized and systemized religious practices and explained personal ascension of the physical being. The 7 great Hermetic principles. The principles of truth are 7. He who knows these, understandingly, possesses the magic key, before whose touch all the doors of the temple fly open. These Hermetic principles are the basis for the entire field of Hermetic philosophy. The principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. The principle of mentalism embodies the idea that all is mind. Everything that happens has to be a result of a mental state which precedes it. For anything to exist, thoughts had to form first, which then form physical reality or manifestation. Your thoughts are seeds. Plant positive seeds in your mind garden.
So, Dolly, come on.
Feedback. What's your guys' thoughts on that, Dolly? Go.
Well, one, that numbers follow me everywhere, number 7, which I've said on my channel. That numbers follow me. 2, I've got a book on alchemy. 3, I thought it was the same book. I've just received this really old book today. Really old. It's that old, it's nearly falling apart. I thought it was the same name, but it's not. It is 1892. A Princess of Thule. I thought it was Thoth, but it's Thule. Thule. And the funny thing is, I live at number 6, and this was written inside it. So,
oh wow, number 6. Yeah, to your right. Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
And I was like,
number 6.
Oh, but it's something to do with on the lines of that. I'm sure it is. That's why I got it. I can't remember why I got it. Anyway,
Thule was connected to the Vril Society. That was from the
and Vril
the Nazi. That they were very deeply into Thule. And if you watch Hellboy, it's the Thule Society and Hellboy that he's fighting against.
But I watched a new one today, and it's making more sense because I've talked about Vril, on the Q map to do with Maria Orkic, Hitler, all that. Watched a good video today, was like, oh, the ether, the Aurora Borealis, the north, the centre, they were tuning in to the Vril. Is chi, is all the same thing. It's that they took us apart from. I always shout out as above, so below, because I don't know how to explain it. The mind seeds is that thing again, isn't it? It's how you perceive something. If you're going to say everything's negative, you are going to bring within you outside, so it's going to manifest in your physical realm because that is what you believe.
I completely agree. That's where I'm at. If you keep emitting those kind of frequencies, I'm ill, I'm poor, I'm no good, I'm rubbish, that's going to become your reality.
Because
quite simply,
Trump
yeah.
and Q, to me, I know it sounds really, but I'm like, if there's been so many people so long, especially like in the hippie days before that, whenever way back, have been trying to pump this positivity out, which they've been trying to shut down because they knew spirituality was a big thing. Because it's getting stronger and stronger with people waking up to whatever they're waking up to, it's still the same thing to me. That, with a positive mental attitude, has to manifest in the physical, whether that be Trump or Q, doesn't really matter, but something had to manifest somewhere to bring something in on our physical plane. So when I argue with people and they say, no, it's nothing to do with the physical, don't look out there or go within, it's like, yeah, we have to go within, but don't forget they also got into the spirituality side to tell you to go within and not really do much, even though we know it's through positivity. But the thing I believe is it was together at one point and they split it because those who know the power, because they kept it for, a select few families, whatever it was, are easier to control us. So to me, the spiritual, as above, so below, that's above, where below physical plane, coming together how it was meant to be. We all should know the knowledge. Knowledge will set you free.
Now, listen,
Real talk.
this is dangerous, me popping this in here, because I don't want to derail where we're going, right? So we can't let this derail where we're going. But I watched the best video today by Lupa, and it was about Game of Thrones. And it was basically the Game of Thrones timeline from beginning to now. And not from the beginning of the actual when it started. It goes right back to 10,000 years before, where it all really truly began, right? And it's really, man, it's crazy when you listen to what they're saying. If you wrap your mind around it, it's like, I always thought the Game of Thrones was basically telling our story.
Yeah, but it's Game of Thrones, the kingdoms.
It is actually telling our story. And I think
interesting, really interesting.
I don't know if this is, it's weird, isn't it? It's like, did the guy H.P. Lovecraft? What's his name? What's his name?
Who?
James R. The guy that wrote it.
I have no idea. Sorry.
The guy that wrote Game of Thrones.
Shout out anyone that can throw in the name there for us, because I'm not going to be able to answer that. Sorry, guys.
Anyway, the guy that, what sort of knowledge did he have to be able to write that book, or to be able to write those books?
Yeah, it seems a bit unreal that he's just going to pluck all of that detail out of nowhere.
Yeah, but he didn't, the books, he was writing the books, he was still, the last book wasn't written yet. He hadn't written it yet.
Isn't there something that's quite similar to Tartaria, the Targaryen?
Yeah, man, and I mean, it's crazy.
There's a lot of names that are really similar to names that you think, is that a coincidence? I don't like coincidences already. So
I stopped watching Game of Thrones at the 4th season because it just got too repetitive. It's got too much, man. It's too graphic.
I stopped watching it because I was watching on a dodgy box and I couldn't watch the rest of it. But I knew
Keeping it real as usual, Dolly.
Yeah, you know,
Dodgy bots couldn't watch it, you know.
Yeah, whatever I was watching on, I don't know what I was watching it on, but I knew because I've always been into fantasy films, which isn't obviously fantasy. You know, the ice wall and everything, and things beyond. You know, what they called the is it White Walkers?
White Walkers, yeah.
Things beyond other. You know,
Mhm.
that's why I loved it, because I thought there's something in it. They're trying to
Right.
say something, and these people who bring the stories up, it's like, are they in the elite families? I know the knowledge, but they put it out there because they have to put it out there, I believe, because it's a law of one. They've got to put it out there.
And that's and is that what this is really kind of getting at, guys? Is that what this principle of mentalism is dealing with? It's all in the. It's,
I mean, I think
the all is mind. The universe is mental.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically I think it's this principle is talking about the fact that our collective our collective thoughts are what basically write reality here.
Yeah.
What we are thinking becomes true. So
right,
we can be guided. We can be guided and misguided, and we can. And this all goes back to what I'm saying every single time is they've stolen our perception.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. They've stolen our perception and the heliocentric model was the biggest way they did that. That was the final kind of chunk that severed it for us. And that was the whole point. It's not about the money. It's not about. It doesn't matter where we live. It's our perception. They've stolen our perception, man.
Correct.
Yeah, because if you think about it, way back, if you go on about all this stuff about Hyperborea, Atlantis, whatever, all this, we were all in harmony with the earth, the energies, everything, you know, we are everything, and all the energy, all that sort of stuff. So we all knew then, our consciousness knew as well, that's how we held the harmony with animals, everything, us, the earth. When we fell from consciousness, as I like to say, that's why now I believe if we're supposed to work on a collective consciousness, that is why they pump crap out there on mainstream media to get you in fear, get you believing in something else, so you're not pumping positivity out and you're not on the right frequency, all the vibration, so everyone's like, and then it brings it all down to that, what would you call it, the wrong vibration, basically.
Yeah.
When nothing's working, no one's working, no one's becoming ill because that's to do with your frequency and so on and so on.
Yeah. The next principle is of correspondence. You've mentioned this already, Dolly. As above, so below. As below, so above.
As I just said before.
Yeah, I'll click into this and we'll play this section, guys, and then we'll chime in again. Is that all right, Rich?
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, guys.
The principle of correspondence. As below, so above. The principle of correspondence expresses the idea that there is always a correspondence between the laws of phenomena of the various planes of being and life. As above, so below. As below, so above. This principle states that there is a harmony which can be made, agreement and correspondence between these planes. The great physical plane, the great mental plane, the great spiritual plane. The outer world is a mirror of our inner world. If we hold thoughts of poverty and lack of good health, this will manifest within our physical bodies. The thoughts and images we hold in our mind will attract their physical likeness to us in our eternal circumstance. This law works unceasingly, for the good or the bad. By understanding this law, we can use it for our benefit instead of our detriment. Earth is a school for practicing these laws of mind and spiritual control.
Three things. There's the spirit. I forget what it is. The spirit, the physical, and the
physical.
Yeah. Three. You know, everything. Three is a very significant number. In Christianity, it's the Holy Trinity. And think about it. It's Hermes Trismegistus. It's, you know, it's three. Three is the magic number.
Oh, the three.
You know what? I do love a song for everything, but you're right. What is that song all about then? Why were they chatting about three?
is
Why were they even chatting about 3? What was the narrative of that story though? What was
Everything comes
the
in
official
threes.
narrative?
1,
Everything
2,
comes in
3.
threes.
And look, 1, 2, 3. You 2 and me.
And also that but they put it into the negative as well when something bad goes wrong. You know, when you stub your toe.
Oh yeah, they say it
you
all
go,
comes in
"Oh,
3s.
man,
It all comes in
there's
3s.
gonna
My
be
mum
everything
used to
now."
say that. If bad things are happening, they're all going to come in 3s.
But
If
I
you're
guess
waiting
that's
for a
the same
bus,
thing, isn't it?
it
As
will
above,
come.
so below. If you're thinking positive, all
Yeah.
comes in 3s.
Yeah.
If you're thinking negative, it could all come in 3s.
So legit. So legit, man. It's funny. It's only when you put the things together that you end up going, yeah. Oh yeah.
And the thing is, if you're mindful, and if you police your thoughts and you're mindful about your being, whether you're being positive or negative about it, if you're being mindful, you can say, "Well, hang on, I'm being negative about this."
Yeah.
And you stop.
Mhm.
And you balance it out.
And is that
say,
not where, like, you've got, say, for an example, spiritual, mental, and then the physical here it comes out.
And Rich, can you just jog our minds, because we yesterday we played that Jackson 5 video, and when we watched that jogged something else with you, and we were trying to remember. We were roughly trying to tell everyone what it was you were telling. That scene from a movie you watched, and the guy was no, it wasn't about Jackson 5. It was about Michelle Obama. That's what it was. Do you remember when they were like, "Oh, it's the guy, it's the
about
girl."
Arrested Development. Yeah,
That's it. Do you remember? We couldn't remember.
Okay. So we can get to that on one of these because it's in this. It's the principal agenda.
I'll
So
try
we'll
and
get
remember.
there.
I'll try and remember.
We'll get there,
Cool.
I'll
Nice
write
one,
it down.
man.
It's all right. Don't
Please
worry.
do. Yeah, because we
Yeah,
were
I've got
like,
my little book
literally,
and
it was on the
everything,
tip of
man.
our tongues yesterday, and none of us could get it. Like, it was jarring us yesterday. Do you remember? You picked up and you were like, "What was it Richard said?"
Yeah,
was like, it was a movie. We got that far. We definitely got that far, and it wasn't about my bad. It wasn't about Jackson 5. It was about Michael, Michelle. I mean Michelle. Michael, Michelle, Mike, Big Mike. So yeah, please, let's come to that. So I'm going to play the next. Yeah, I'm going to play this one here, which is the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So I'm going to play on from here, guys.
The principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Motion is manifest in everything in the universe. Nothing rests, and everything moves, vibrates, and circles. This principle explains that the distinction between manifestations of matter, energy, mind, and even spirit are the result of only different vibrations. The higher a person is on the scale, the higher the rate of the vibration will be. Here, the all is said to be at an infinite level of vibration, almost to the point of being at rest. Mental transmutation is described as the practical application of this principle. To change one's mental state is to change vibration. One may do this by an effort or will, by means of deliberately fixing the attention upon a more desirable state.
But I see that one as nothing does stay the same. Everything is vibrating all the time. But I see it as sort of like, there was a picture of a guy there holding a truth card up. To me, if you're on the right vibration, the right frequency, whatever that was saying then, because we were just discussing this the other day, if you start going truth seeking, learning all the time. So even when we think we know it, we don't exactly know it. But truth seeking all the time, finding knowledge. You know that truth will set you free. We were only saying the other day, what we're beginning to find out, I'm not saying we know everything, I'm just saying I feel today, right now, than so many years back when I was a bit confused about what was going on in the world, why is all this stuff coming out there. I feel more at ease and happy now than I did before, because before,
Me too.
with the lies, I feel at ease with the truth, but with the lies it's dis-ease and ill, because they're in dis-ease of, because they're in lies, they don't understand, and then does anyone understand what I'm saying? I don't even think I've explained that well, but I think though the more you search and begin to see what's what, because we know we've been told a lot of lies, you become more. It just becomes.
I do get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying entirely. It's like I feel like I feel like I'm not as unwell as I was before, and I don't just mean distilled water. I mean mentally.
There's a frequency.
I'm mentally better than I was before, and I feel like it was a disease of the mind. The indoctrination completely diseased my mind, infected every orifice of my life. It wasn't just
you're in disease.
And when you feel like you're coming off of it, you feel like you unstick your foot and everything else is still stuck down, and you're like there, like super glued down to the indoctrination. And as soon as you pull your hand off, your elbow's stuck down, and you're in this constant battle of trying to get off of it. And that's how I feel like I'm constantly being bugged out, like I'm like a snotty nose, if you know what I mean. And that's what I get with the disease thing.
They need to know the truth and come across channels, because we behind the scenes talk about all this, but we're meeting good people, and we're also having a laugh of it as well. I know it's serious, but
sometimes you have to, because you know what,
because I understand it better. You can have a bit more of a laugh, because
not for the want of quoting other people, but this is where we are. Yeah, it is. This is where we are, and we are all in the same boat. And sometimes the sanity that you find is ironically laughing at the irony of it in a messed up. It's almost so wrong. It's right that you end up becoming such despair with it. You're
in dis-ease because you're wondering why, like, oh, I do this, and this happens. I don't. Why is that out there? Why is that happening?
Because I feel you're right. I feel like you're under disease of the pressures in which this reality puts upon us. Media. The pressures of believing all the things that are taught to us as fact. And the fact that we live in a society where it's not acceptable to question the things that are taught to us as fact, I think that's dangerous.
And who pumps
that out? I think it's dangerous if we're not allowed, if it's not socially accepted to question something that's been presented as a fact and taught, and then back up with propaganda.
Society.
You know?
But when society get that
and that's why the conversations have got to keep going, whether it's about veganism, whether it's about the government juice. I've called it government juice ever since I was a little kid. I got that from my parents. My parents were never on drinking that water that comes out the tap. My dad said that's government juice, GV.
But society
from that
would say that I should be extremely anxious about my situation. That I'm, you know, I'm not normal, and I'm a non-conformist.
Yeah.
I'm seen as antisocial, not in the socializing sense, but against society. I'm anti-society. Well, certainly I haven't agreed with anything that society has come up with for my entire adult life.
I think a lot of us can relate to that.
Yep. Yeah, if that's only so. If I was living in those paradigms, I'd be. It's like for a second, I can allow myself to imagine it, and I can feel that knot, you know, and that horrible, that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that fear, shit. Oh shit! I don't do this. Oh man!
Fear of the establishment.
Oh man!
Living in fear. They've created order out of chaos.
This is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and
the ramifications of this and the ramifications of that, affecting every orifice of your life.
Because I know the truth. Because I don't know the whole truth. Because I feel like I've found some stuff that's resonated with me so much. I feel that it is the truth. It's always changing slightly. It's always metamorphosizing. You know, it's like as I let new bits of information in, like this Hermetic Principles thing today. It's the first time I've ever seen that, man.
Oh, is it?
And I've never seen it before.
I like that because you shared the cosmic egg thing with me today, and I've seen a lot of Martin Kenny's work, and where you come across it, I love the fact that we're all on our own personal pursuit, and it's all at different rates. Sorry, darling.
My dad who sent me that, and I was like, I know I
I
know
love
we're
it.
so
And that's what I love about everybody's individual pursuit of truth. Everybody's at different rates, at different junctions, at different corners.
But
And there's no
what?
rushing people to their junctions. You've got to let
No.
everybody come to things in their own time. I love that.
But we're finding, and I've been finding this with everybody that I've interacted with within the true community, that whatever we're doing, we're naturally synchronizing with each other.
That's what I'm
It's
finding
not,
as well.
we talk about something and somebody goes,
Yeah.
oh wow, no way, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that today, or I was watching this video that was talking about it, you know, and we're able to then build on it, and that's where
even though some people out there believe it's AI, and I'm a bit like, no, there's a natural way as well.
So true. So true.
But who also puts that thing out for what we're being told socially is, like you said, Trump. The enemy of the people is mainstream media.
Absolutely.
They help push all of it out on the tell live vision, tell lies in visions.
So true.
What we've ended up with is a situation where we've got mainstream media and police. This is the most important thing, right? The police force no longer serves the people. The police force serves the government.
They serve
and it's masonically run. There's Masons
they serve
very, very, very high levels.
What's on the hat?
Forces. In all police forces. And it's all over there. It's all plastered in it. They're plastered in their own symbology.
Symbolism will be their downfall.
Yeah,
that much I do know. The symbolism, they can't help themselves. The symbolism will definitely be their downfall.
Make a pledge to the people. Over here, it's to the Queen, not to us.
Yeah, that symbolism will end up biting them in the backside, though. That'll be their downfall.
What's the star as well?
Polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. Take for example hot and cold. Though they are opposites, they are really the same thing. It is merely a matter of degree. The same could be said of spirit and matter. They are really the same thing. Freeze water and it becomes ice, matter. Boil water and it evaporates and becomes gaseous fumes, spirit. They are identical in nature, but different in degrees. The same principle applies on the mental plane of reality.
It might still be going, actually. I thought that finished then. It's still going, I think. Sorry.
Take, for example, love and hate. They are the same thing but different degrees. The importance of this law comes in the understanding of one's ability to transmute and change the vibrations from one extreme to another. This in reality is the study of alchemy. The alchemists of the Middle Ages were preoccupied in changing base metals into gold. However, the real meaning of this comes in the understanding of changing one's base thoughts and emotions into spiritual gold or soul-realized energies. Hate can be transformed by the power of your mind into love, gold. Your lower self can be transformed into your higher self. Your physical body can be transformed into your light body, ascension. Separation can be turned into oneness. Guidance by your negative ego can be turned into guidance by your soul using the art of polarization.
Right. See, that last bit is exactly what I've been saying, isn't it? Brooks, about understanding your ego and stop listening to your ego and listening to your heart instead.
That's right.
False ego.
Yeah, well said. And haven't quite a few people done the rice experiment with the love and the hate? And you've done it, haven't you, Dolly? And you've done that. Yeah, you've done it on YouTube. It's real.
Twice.
Yeah, it's real. It is real.
I see that as love. You've got love and hate, light and dark. You've got male, female. you've got good and bad, whatever. It's your perception, but also we are all one. That is all part of one. It's just a different side of it. And then you've got how it's, what did I say about gold there? Turn it into gold. I see that's the golden age which we're going into. Is you can change it, but it's your positive mental attitude. You can change everything with a positive mental attitude. They say gold back in the day, or they were mining for gold. That is what we become when we change our attitudes and everything else mentally to lift ourselves higher, to ascend, the ascension, to the all and everything, which we all anyway.
Yeah, I concur with you 100% on that. I genuinely feel that this energy is a real energy. The frequencies are legit. And the love and hate with the rice, and I've seen so many people's testimonies of that, in yours as well. So I'm on that side of it as well.
Place, even if traumas have happened, you can still change that, because if you're at rock bottom, you can't go anywhere else but up after you hit rock bottom. If you're going to be someone who, like I said about karma, who's just going to stay there, you're going to be collecting more negative energy, being around more negative people, and probably getting yourself in more negative situations.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is switch your mindset.
Yeah.
And don't let them thoughts come in all the time. Let them pass. I just think that's not, no.
This is exactly what I was saying, like, about, with the trolls and the turning all the hate that I was getting, turning that into love. Trying to turn it into love, or absorb it, but then only allow what I give back to be from a loving place, instead
being
of
aware,
getting angry and
being aware of it as well. Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Well said. This one is the principle of rhythm.
I love this one. I love it.
And everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings, manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The principle of rhythm expresses the idea that in everything there is manifested a measured motion, a to and from, a flow and inflow, a swing backward and a swing forward, a pendulum-like movement. There is rhythm between every pair of opposites, or poles, and is closely related to the principle of polarity. It can be seen that this principle enables transition from one pole to the other, and not necessarily poles of extreme opposites. We see this in our breathing. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. This explains that there is no such thing as chance. There are no accidents in the universe. Everything in the universe is governed by laws. There are physical laws, emotional laws, mental laws, and spiritual laws. By understanding these laws, we can learn to operate in grace instead of karma. Many times we don't know the cause for the reason things happen to us. This is because there are 7 dimensions of reality in which causation can occur. The Hermetists understand the art of rising above the ordinary plane of cause and effect to a certain degree. They do this by rising to a high plane of consciousness, and hence, becoming masters instead of victims, and causes instead of effects. The average person on the street is an effect, not a cause. They are an effect and victim of thoughts, moods, emotions, desire, appetites, lower self, past lives, and subconscious programming. The basic cause of your life and the thoughts and images you hold in your conscious and subconscious mind. By learning to be absolutely vigilant and only allowing into your mind thoughts of God, love, perfection, perfect health, prosperity, and oneness, then this is what you will create, both inwardly and outwardly. For your thoughts cause your reality. Be the cause, be the master, be the co-creator with God that you truly are, and then you will be using this law and principle instead of allowing it to use you. Change your polarization with the power of your mind and the power of your God-given free choice.
This is one of the harshest places on the planet.
Yeah, I'd just like to chuck one thing in there. That's all I see above. That's all like the above that we were talking about, but the cycle, seasons, and so on. But the pendulum thing for me is, it's been swinging that way, and if there's a pattern, it's got to come back down. So if people think things are bad at the minute, it's got to swing back, because that's the cycle of life. That's that's how it works. That's the law. And also, just to throw at the end, you know, the little blue and the triangle up, the triangle down, blue and red. That's the female and male coming together, because we know the female has energy, or whatever, women as well, have been suppressed. That needs to come back into balance. Also, it was like the plus and the negative, everything coming into balance.
Nice. Yeah, I'm with you on that one as well. I'm loving this. Like I said, it's not really something I've looked into very much, so I'm finding this a bit of an eye opener. Rich, what have you got to input on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I love all this. I can't remember what I've said already about it. This is the last one, I think.
Cool. I'm a mute
which
now.
relates to the feminine and masculine principles. It does not refer to someone's physical sex, nor does it suggest that someone of a certain sex necessarily has a matching mental gender. Ideally, one wants to have a balanced mental gender. The Kybalion states that gender exists on all planes of existence, physical, mental, and spiritual, and represents different aspects on different planes. Everything and everyone contains these two elements or principles. It is said that there must be a balance in these two forces. Without the feminine, the masculine is apt to act without restraint, order, or reason, resulting in chaos. The feminine alone, on the other hand, is apt to act constantly, reflect and fail to actually do anything, resulting in stagnation, with both the masculine and feminine working in conjunction. There is thoughtful action that breeds success, which points out that both the feminine and masculine fulfill each other. Everything has its yin and yang on the physical plane. Each person has a male or female physical body. However, psychologically, each person is androgynous, with male and female qualities. Each person has a left brain and right brain. The spiritual path is the path of balance and integration. Buddha called this the middle way. It is the path of balancing the male and female aspects within self, and also balancing the heavenly and earthly aspects within self. This is achieved by knowing thyself and understanding these universal laws and balances that govern our being. To know God, we must understand God's laws.
So, this is why they've
sort of
tried.
answered a bit of that.
This is why they've introduced the certain agenda that I don't even know if they should mention it, you know, because it's a trigger. It's a bad trigger for people.
Yeah,
But
it is what it is. It is what it is.
So they've what we've got to do is try and find balance. I can't remember if we were recording what I was talking to you about, Brooks, about my chart being done. We weren't recording.
No.
Were we?
No, we won't. No.
So my chart got done, and it was a really in-depth chart, and it basically said that I'm a perfectly balanced male-female spirit being here, and that explains to me myself a lot, because I can relate to women and I can relate to men. I can understand women and the way they are. You know,
hold both energies, don't we?
the crazy way women think about things sometimes, and you know, I can read women quite well, and I don't always understand like why something's happened, but looking back, I can understand it. You know, I can understand that kind of stuff. And at the time, it's always confused by emotions and ego and stuff. But when looking back, I can understand. So that explains to me why I am the way I am. I feel like I'm a little bit woman. I'm a little bit feminine about some things. About
Because
the way
you
I feel
hold
about
the energy.
So you're in
relationships
touch with the
and stuff.
feminine side of things as well.
I feel
You
I'm
feel
in touch
spiritually
with the
Women
or
hold
feminine
inside.
male
Yeah.
energy, and men hold it's both balanced. But they're putting out there today, if you feel slightly like what you just said, you're a woman. It's like,
well,
no.
the thing is, society, when I was growing up, society said that meant that maybe I was gay.
No.
So when I was growing up, I had people possibly questioning my sexuality.
Yeah.
And my sexuality's never really been questioned, and I know exactly what I like. Sexuality is all about what turns you on, what makes you sexually, you know, oh yeah, I want to get a bit of that, and that's not men, and it never has been. So it just explains to me, and it also explains why things are the way they are, because everybody's either very left-brained or they're very right-brained. Nobody seems to be.
So yeah, you're saying
balanced.
regardless of different
Scales.
strokes for different folks, what this
Yeah.
did is it put you became more comfortable and in touch with who you are individually.
I've been comfortable and in touch with it for a while now, but this kind of explains it on a different level. You know, it's like, wow, you know, this has actually been specifically spoken about and identified as a principle that it's important to be balanced. A balanced male, female.
About balance.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what.
I don't want
what
you
we've
to
been
know
saying
that, because I want
constantly,
you to think you're something
That-
else, or
this
being
is why.
used in disease again, and then people are committing suicide because they think they're feeling this and they think they're feeling that. And it's not. You can feel like that. We all have the feminine, divine, whatever you want to call it, and the masculine in all of us, all gender, but it's in balance. So sometimes you can feel a little bit more like that. A man can feel a little bit more like it. Doesn't mean you're gay or she's this, or it's just about balance. Like you said, what you've just said there. But they won't want to put this out there because they want people to be in disease and confused about themselves and so on and so on.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I found this all massively, massively interesting. Can we delve into this a little bit more? Perhaps over the weekend if you guys have got some time. Are you all right doing
how
that?
that works with people on different sort of truth-in communities coming together and linking everything up, and it's like, oh yeah.
This is what I wanted to say, right? This is exactly why you've got division agents like Flow Destroyer and, you know, all that lot, Mickey of the Mouse family, and the ones that are attacking. They're attacking Brian at the moment, Brian Harvey. You know.
Yeah.
They attacked me. They actually physically came out here in person and stuff. You know. It's because they don't want this balance. They don't want this unity.
No,
The whole point of duality. The whole point of duality is because you can only find unity with duality. You can only find unity with duality. So the whole point. I spoke about it last year with another channel that I was talking to about. It's Michelle. It's Michelle. We were talking about unity and diversity. We're all coming from different paths. We're all coming to the same place. We've all arrived at the same sort of area.
Learning what uniting together actually means.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we have to be the same. It just means that we're
coming in unison with the way we're understanding.
If we know, if we're unified in the truth,
individual,
we can be individual, unique, totally individual and unique.
But our core.
But united with, yeah. But if we all know the truth, we're all united in the truth. You know, it's.
We're all united here, aren't we? In the heart. We're all united.
Well said.
And they don't want that. They do not want that.
They don't.
Because then they can control us like they have been doing.
Yeah.
Because they make everybody feel like they're on their own.
Yeah.
Totally on their own. They're threatened. They're like I was speaking to a guy yesterday here in the thing. I speak to him quite often, and he knows all about this stuff, and he can talk to me about it. Right? But he doesn't feel that he knows enough. And I said to him, why don't you come on? I'll do an interview with you, and you can just talk to people and say, you know, that you see it. You don't understand it, but you see it, and you know it's going on. But he's as normal can be. He's your average Joe Blogs. Nice, really, really nice guy. His name's Troy, actually. He's got a cool name. But as soon as I talked about coming on my channel and being seen by people,
in fear.
the fear, I could see the fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't think I want to do that. I don't. No.
Because
No,
they
you
call
can
it
count me out.
conspiracy theories, and if it's a conspiracy theory, or whatever you say it is, it's, you're stupid. You daft.
Yeah, they write you off.
Fucking stupid.
They
They
literally
don't
write
want
you
you
off.
to stand up in the light of truth because,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, all I can see myself watching other people is people are, even if it's, I can't even say it's slow, people have been waking up for years. It is happening more than it ever has before because people are beginning, even the really sleeping people are beginning to think, hang on a minute, this media's not adding up a minute. I'm right, I need to go and look. That's all I can see. Some people saying it's not changing, as I've said before, and I'm like, it is though.
I think it is, yeah.
People, when I went to that thing the other week, certain things that I'm hearing, I'm like, it is though.
You're right. You really are.
Beginning to think, you know what, so if she can do it, he can do it, and they can do it, I'm going to stand up now.
That's it.
And
I hope this is resonating with a lot of other people as well, because it's massively resonating with me.
There's loads of people that are watching this.
Yeah.
Don't ever sign in. They don't. They remain totally anonymous. They're anonymous.
Silent majority.
They're anonymous,
yeah.
Right.
Silent majority.
I think that's the ones that we're talking to. That's the people that we're talking to.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Really? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
United.
And for all of those that are in the chat room that have been there from the start and you're still watching and this is resonating with you, this is for you too.
Should be definitely giving thumbs up as well if you resonate, even if you don't come in chat. You should be subbing to people. You should put thumbs up.
Yeah, Rich, nice one for doing this with us, darling. I hope your gig goes well tonight, and I really do appreciate you spending this time with us to go through this, because I really appreciate it. I've not seen that before. I've really not looked at it before.
The magic number 7, 00.
Yeah. I've got 10 minutes. I've got 10 minutes. So
awesome.
All right, just for 10 minutes.
Good.
See, I love an old Gary Light vids, me.
Love it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, big shout out to Gary Light, man.
I'm going to make sure I put the link for that channel in the description. I subscribed to that channel today. There looks like a load of good content on there. I subscribed to that channel today. And I also, I've got a couple of other channels that I'm going to put in there that were recommended to me today by a couple of other people. Shout out to John Thor as well. He gave me a couple of brilliant recommendations. I'll put those in the chat, the description as well. And I'll put this channel as well, Rich, in the description. I think this is a good channel too. So at least we've got some good recommendations as well, because I'm fishing for some new content, and I was shown a good couple of channels today that got a lot of content on there that I've never seen before. So
yeah, there's that one I picked off my dad today about what was it now? I think it was cancer. On cancer, that was really
nice
really
one.
Good.
Nice one, Waxman.
Yeah, that was very interesting. That they're trying to shut someone down for finding cures to cancer, and they've killed 100 and odd holistic doctors.
They did that to Dr. Sebi for finding the cure for AIDS, didn't they? But, you know, they took him out in a police cell for 10 grand.
Maybe that's another chat.
Well, you know, wasn't Lisa Left Eye Lopez out in Honduras when she died in that car crash? You know, Lisa from TLC. That's it. It's been some booky moves regarding, you know, the great work that Dr. Sebi did. Massive great work. Yeah, so we'll delve into this more, because I feel like we've literally just scratched the surface on this, guys. So I feel like if you're up for that over the weekend, we could possibly just go live, even though this one's recorded. I think we're more than happy to go live. I'm happy to screen share anything that needs to get shared, just to assist with some optics, because sometimes I have a really hard time visualizing what people are talking about. I need something to try and help me visualize anyway.
I think this is something that we can actually elaborate on as well with books like Seth Speaks, with the tablets of Thoth.
Really interesting.
We can look at Thule and Drill. You know, this is a big subject, man.
Wow.
And it all relates directly to #rewrite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that in the title as well.
Yeah, especially the real thing, because I've seen another thing with that now. That's like,
I haven't seen any of them.
It's out there.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah. See, I want to know about.
Across the space that is here and between that way, not exactly No.
Yeah, well, what is exploring new horizons? I would have thought exploring new horizons is...
What is Trump's Space Force? Is it actually Space Force or Space?
that way. I
Yeah.
think space farce.
Yeah.
Space
Yeah.
farce.
It's always based on the words, isn't it? There's a big play on the words, and then people are like getting
Well,
tricked by certain stuff. It's
What
like,
accent would you need to have in order to say the word force as farce, just by default?
Space far. It's a
Maybe-
space far.
Space farce. I don't know, but it is
It's some
farcical.
sort of American accent, or possibly.
Farcical, definitely.
oh, Rich, have you got no glasses? Because it'd be like good night for me and her and him, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, the old,
Oh, hang on. Well, mine are just too cool, I'm afraid.
Okay, Neo. All right, Neo. It's good night from me.
it's good night for me.
Good night from me, innit?
Do the wiggle.
Is it 'cause I is flat?
Yeah.
Innit, though? Peace and love, yeah? Alright.
Oh no, wait.
Here, why wait? It's good to know you're ready.